It was the 92nd minute of a crazy match between FC Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Referee Damir Skomina had blown the final whistle and just finished one of the most unreal games in Champions League history. That night, Barcelona faced the most painful defeat in the club's history, losing 8-2. This match didn't just end with a shocking score, it pushed Bayern to win the entire Champions League that year. As fans, we live for moments like this, the thrill of watching matches that leave us speechless, with shocking losses, intense rivalries, and jaw-dropping comebacks, especially in the knockout stage. So in today's video, I've put together a list of the 10 wildest matches in Champions League history, capturing all these kinds of unforgettable moments. And starting with the legendary Miracle of Istanbul, the best Champions League final in the entire history. It all took place about 20 years ago. That match wasn't promised to be interesting. Milan took an early lead with Paolo Maldini's first-minute strike, and Hernan Crespo's quick double before halftime appeared to seal the match for the Italians. 3-0 in the first half of a Champions League final? It's impossible to come back from that result. It was very quiet at first, and we heard the crowd singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" outside. Maybe that gave us a little bit of strength, said one of Liverpool defenders at that time. It all started with Steven Gerrard, who ignited an unforgettable comeback. His header reduced the gap, Vladimir Smicer's long-range shot, and Xabi Alonso's fortunate penalty kick leveled the match. Motivated was the whole Liverpool team. Dudek's extraordinary double save against Andriy Shevchenko in extra time kept the game alive, and in the penalty shootout, the goalkeeper again denied Shevchenko, securing the win. The dramatic nature of this comeback, combined with Liverpool's historic 5th European title, makes this arguably one of the greatest matches in club football history. Let's move now to 2019, when Ajax Amsterdam faced Tottenham Hotspur in the second leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. The stage was set in Amsterdam, and Ajax came in with a 1-0 lead from the first leg in London. The young and dynamic team, filled with talent like Matthijs de Ligt and Frenkie de Jong, had already defeated big names like Real Madrid and Juventus, so fans believed Ajax could go all the way to the final. The match started with Amsterdam in control, quickly scoring twice. By halftime, they were leading 2-0, meaning Tottenham needed 3 goals to advance. It seemed almost impossible. However, Lucas Moura, the Brazilian forward, had other plans. Just minutes into the second half, he scored to make it 2-1. With Tottenham pushing forward and Ajax struggling to hold their lead, Moura struck again, equalizing at 2-2. The tension was electrifying, and as time ticked away, Ajax seemed closer to their dream final, the first one for 23 years. But in the final seconds of stoppage time, Moura completed his hat-trick, scoring the third goal and sealing a 3-2 victory for Tottenham. Ajax players collapsed to the ground, heartbroken, while Tottenham celebrated one of the greatest comebacks in Champions League history. On a chilly November evening in 2016, Borussia Dortmund faced Legia Warszawa in a Champions League match that quickly became legendary, not just for the score, but for the pure chaos on the field. 3 weeks earlier, Legia had shocked the football world by drawing 3-3 with Real Madrid, leaving fans and experts scratching their heads. However, in their first game against Dortmund in Warsaw, Legia had been crushed 6-0, so expectations weren't high. The game kicked off like any other, but Legia, a huge underdog, shocked everyone by scoring in the 10th minute. Just as they celebrated, Borussia retaliated, scoring not 1, not 2, but 3 goals in less than 5 minutes. The Dortmund fans were barely done cheering when Legia scored again. Goals kept coming from both sides, each attack more intense than the last. Dortmund's players seemed to turn every chance into a goal, and by halftime, they led 5-2. The scoreboard kept ticking, looking more like a game of table football than a real match. By the final whistle, the score stood at an incredible 8-4, making the total for both games 14-4, an astonishing record for the Champions League. The players looked exhausted, the fans were dizzy from the action, and the commentators were probably wondering if they'd just witnessed a Champions League game or a goal-scoring contest. In a similar situation to Legia, FC Barcelona found itself in 2017. However, their fate turned out completely different. It all began in Paris, where PSG stunned Barcelona, dominating them with a 4-0 victory in the first leg. The football world was sure it was over. No team had ever overturned a 4-goal deficit in the Champions League. Yet as the second leg approached, Barcelona's players and fans held on to the faintest hope of a miracle. Barcelona charged forward from the start, and by the 50th minute, they had surged to a 3-0 lead, sparking real hope. But then, in the 62nd minute, PSG responded with an away goal, making it 3-1. Now, Barcelona needed 3 more goals to advance. The energy in the stadium dimmed, but only for a moment. In a stunning push, Barcelona found a 4th goal. Then, with minutes left on the clock, the referee awarded a highly controversial penalty after a light challenge on Luis Suarez. Neymar converted, lifting the score to 5-1 and reigniting Barcelona's chances. With only seconds left, Neymar stepped up, assisting Sergi Roberto in scoring the decisive 6th goal in the 95th minute. Camp Nou exploded with joy and disbelief. Yet, amidst the celebrations, heated debates erupted around the referee's calls, with many saying Barcelona had been favored. Despite these controversies, Barcelona's 6-1 comeback became a symbol of hope, resilience, and the sheer unpredictability of football. Let's move now to the 2003-2004 UEFA Champions League quarter-finals, where Deportivo La Coruña, the same club which is now struggling in La Liga 2, faced AC Milan, the reigning champions. Milan, loaded with stars like Maldini, Shevchenko, and Pirlo, had crushed Deportivo 4-1 in the first leg at San Siro. Deportivo came into the second match as underdogs, but full of spirit. Managed by Javier Irureta, the team has gained a reputation for its resilience and attacking ability. In the early 2000s, they challenged Spain's giants, winning La Liga in 2000 and proving themselves on the European stage. On that magical April night, Deportivo attacked fiercely from the first whistle. The opening goal came within the first few minutes, setting an aggressive tone. Before halftime, a precise header doubled their lead, fueling the belief that victory was possible. Milan, surprised and unable to find their rhythm, lost a 3rd goal shortly after the break. The stadium erupted when the 4th goal sealed victory, completing an unimaginable 4-0 turnaround. The reigning champions had been eliminated. This victory showcased the peak of Deportivo's golden era, a fearless team capable of outplaying Europe's best. However, in the years that followed, financial struggles and key player departures led to their decline. Today, Deportivo battles in Spain's lower leagues, far from their former glory. The downfall of Deportivo certainly benefited teams such as Real Madrid and Atletico. Their form developed so much that 10 years later, in 2014, they faced each other in the legendary Champions League final in Lisbon. For Real Madrid, the stakes were monumental. They were chasing their elusive La Décima, their 10th Champions League title, a goal that had haunted them for over a decade. Atletico, on the other hand, had a chance to claim their first ever Champions League title. They were coming off an incredible La Liga win, and hope was high. From the first whistle, Atletico showed their characteristic resilience, a team built on fierce defense and sheer force of will under coach Diego Simeone. The hopes of the Atletico fans were raised by Diego Godin, whose shot got past Iker Casillas and set the score at 1-0. Minutes turned into an eternity for Atletico fans as the clock ticked down to the 90th minute. Real's relentless pressure finally broke through the defense in the final seconds when Sergio Ramos scored the equalizing goal 12 seconds before the final whistle, with a powerful head strike, moving the match into extra time. There, Real showed their superior fitness and squad depth. Gareth Bale, Marcelo, and Cristiano Ronaldo made Atletico's pain even worse by scoring the goals that turned a close game into a big 4-1 win for Real Madrid. The final whistle signified not only a win, but also the end of a long chase for La Décima. It was heartbreaking for Atletico, a vivid example of how football can turn from joy to despair in the blink of an eye. If you thought the last game was exciting, you'd better listen to this story. Many football fans forget about this match because it happened in 1999, also in the Champions League final. 2 legendary teams faced each other. On one side was Manchester United, led by Sir Alex Ferguson, was chasing a historic treble, featuring stars like David Beckham and Ryan Giggs. And on the other side, Bayern Munich, managed by Ottmar Hitzfeld, included talents such as Oliver Kahn and Mario Basler. Both teams knew each other's strengths well, having faced off in the group stage, with both matches ending in draws. The final was held at Camp Nou in Barcelona, with over 90,000 fans in attendance and millions watching worldwide. Bayern started strong, scoring in the 6th minute through Mario Basler's precise free kick. For most of the match, Bayern's defense held firm, stopping United's attacks. As the clock ticked past the 90-minute mark, Bayern seemed destined to lift the trophy. The German fans were on the verge of celebration, while Manchester United supporters braced for disappointment. Yet, with just minutes remaining, United earned a corner kick. David Beckham stepped up to take it, and in the chaos that followed, the ball found its way to Teddy Sheringham, who calmly slotted it into the net to equalize in the 91st minute. The roar from the United fans was deafening, and hope was suddenly rekindled. But the drama was not over. Only moments after the restart, United won another corner. Beckham sent in another precise cross, which Sheringham flicked on. This time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was perfectly positioned, poking the ball into the roof of the net. Bayern players dropped to the ground in disbelief, their dreams shattered in the space of just 2 minutes. The match wasn't just won on the field, it was etched into the hearts of millions as proof that even when all seems lost, a moment of brilliance can change everything. Let's go back again to 2019 and remember the second semi-final next to the famous Ajax and Tottenham match. The first game was played at Camp Nou, and FC Barcelona won 3-0. There, Messi scored an amazing free kick, making fans think the Spaniards were almost in the final. Barcelona's opponent was Liverpool, who wanted to prove that they could still win, and that the game wasn't over yet. Their challenge seemed impossible. To win, they needed to overcome a 3-goal deficit without their injured stars, Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino. However, what happened that night would be remembered across Europe for years. The second leg at Anfield was filled with tension. Liverpool, known for their passionate fans and historic comebacks, had to play perfectly. From the first whistle, they pressed hard, showing their determination. Divock Origi scored the first goal early, giving Liverpool hope. Anfield roared with belief. In the second half, substitute Jorginho Wijnaldum scored twice in just 2 minutes, leveling the tie at 3-3. The atmosphere turned electric. Then came the iconic moment. Trent Alexander-Arnold's clever quick corner caught Barcelona's defense off guard, and Origi scored the fourth goal. Liverpool led 4-0. Barcelona was stunned, unable to respond. The final whistle confirmed Liverpool's incredible 4-0 victory, completing a 4-3 aggregate comeback. The world watched in awe as Liverpool made history, advancing to the final, where they went on to become European champions, bringing the trophy that Jurgen Klopp had dreamed of for years. For Barcelona, this match brought back the demons of the previous year. Back then, many players and fans had already started celebrating their advancement after winning the first leg against Roma 4-1. Despite this, FC Barcelona fell in the second match, losing 3-0, and it was Roma who advanced to the Champions League semi-finals. Another game, another Spanish team that once conquered European fields, but now fights in La Liga too. This time, it was Malaga, facing off against Borussia Dortmund. But this wasn't just any match. A spot in the Champions League top 4 of the 2012-2013 season was at stake. The first game in Malaga ended in a draw, so fans were expecting a fierce battle at Signal Iduna Park. Borussia, led by the energetic Jurgen Klopp, featured top players like Robert Lewandowski, Marco Reus, and Mario Götze. The team was known for its attacking style and resilience. Malaga, under Manuel Pellegrini, was the surprise of the tournament, showcasing strong defense and tactical skill. The game began intensely, with Malaga taking the lead in the 25th minute. This goal put pressure on Dortmund, but they responded before halftime, when Lewandowski scored after a clever pass from Reus, tying the game 1-1. In the second half, both teams pushed for the winning goal. In the 82nd minute, Malaga scored again, giving the visitors a 2-1 lead and leaving Dortmund needing 2 goals to progress. What followed was an unforgettable display of determination. In the 91st minute, Reus scored to make it 2-2, giving the fans a glimmer of hope. Just moments later, in a frantic sequence in front of Malaga's goal, Felipe Santana managed to tap the ball over the line, sealing a 3-2 win for Borussia in the dying moments. 68 seconds took away Malaga's dreams of reaching a historic semi-final and gave Borussia hope for a magical repeat of 1997, when they won the entire Champions League. As we know, they later lost to Bayern in the final, 1-0. Despite that defeat, the 2012-2013 season was truly remarkable for the club from Dortmund, and their intense match against Malaga will forever go down in football history as one of the most thrilling games ever. Before you hear the craziest story in today's video, make sure you've subscribed to the channel and left a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments which match from today's lineup was most interesting to you, or which one I forgot to mention. It was May 4th, 2022, and 2 European giants met in a fierce Champions League semi-final. On the one hand, the most valuable European club, Manchester City, and on the other, the most successful and unpredictable opponent, Real Madrid. Manchester City arrived with a 1-goal advantage from the first leg, which they won 4-3. Their mission was clear: to maintain control and secure a spot in the final. For Real Madrid, however, the match represented yet another chance to showcase their reputation for unforgettable comebacks. Under Carlo Ancelotti, the team had already stunned Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea with late goals, advancing in both cases in the last moments. City dominated most of the game, taking the lead in the 73rd minute through Riyad Mahrez. With only a few minutes left, Real's chances looked bleak. Just look at this incredible prediction to advance. Some Los Blancos fans began to leave the stadium, confident of their defeat. However, the team kept fighting, and in the 90th minute, 21-year-old Brazilian forward Rodrigo shocked everyone by scoring 2 goals in quick succession, leveling the score. The stadium erupted. Madrid's fans could barely believe their eyes. This meant the game would go into extra time. In the extra period, Karim Benzema, Real's captain, earned a penalty after a foul by City defender Ruben Dias. With calm and precision, Benzema converted the penalty, giving Real Madrid a 3-1 lead and a 6-5 aggregate victory. This goal secured their place in the Champions League final. This match extended the eternal wait of Manchester City fans for their first Champions League title. They succeeded in this accomplishment just 1 year later, when they got their revenge against Los Blancos by winning up to 5-1 in the 2-match series. But the miracle at the Santiago Bernabeu in 2022 still gives people shivers and reminds us that in football, as long as we don't hear the final whistle ending the match, we can't be 100% sure of anything.